this is Mrs. Brickey, and I'm just going to do a quick little video for you so that you can do an art project based on Keith Haring. He's an American artist. He was born in Pennsylvania in 1958, and he died in New York in 1990. Some of the artists that were influenced that he would look at their work and then do some of his work based on those artists would be Pablo Picasso, Walt Disney, Dr. Seuss, just for a few. So some of those you should know. You should know who Pablo Picasso is. We all know who Walt Disney is. Dr. Seuss, we just had celebrated Dr. Seuss's birthday. So those are some really fun people that would have had artwork that he would have looked at, and then it would have inspired him. I even have on a Keith Haring t-shirt that has some of his fun little figures on it that we got when we were near Disney World. So what you're gonna do today is you're gonna get a piece of paper, and you can kind of practice how to draw these fun little figures. The whole idea that Keith Haring had was that you were creating movement with his figures. So it's not so much about getting a perfect scaled human body figure. It's more about creating a fun little figure and then making that figure kind of come to life on the paper. And we do that by creating lines and adding some color and maybe just accenting it with things. So it's not so much about a busy picture as it is about the figures and making them feel like they're moving on the paper. Of course, we know this paper is two-dimensional, so it's flat. So in order to give it some movement, we kind of have to create that with the use of line. So I will send these directions to you, and you'll be able to print them out if you would like, or you can just look at them and draw. A good way, if you're having trouble drawing them, is to print it out, tape it onto your window, take your paper, put it over the top of it, and then you are able to have your own little draw board that you can kind of trace the figures yourself. Now you can use a pencil, you can use a marker, you can use whatever you have available to do these little drawings. Once you have some of these little figures on your paper, you want to kind of cut them out. Now when it comes to cutting, that can be a little bit complicated. Just cut next to the line, go slow, take your time. Once you get them cut out, then we can put them on a background sheet. So it's kind of fun to get some recycled papers. If you open up envelopes, like if your parents get a bill in the mail and they're just gonna throw that envelope away, if you look inside those envelopes, there's sometimes some really printed cool papers. Or you could just use regular scrap papers. Or you could just use white paper and color your little person in. Okay? So if you have any questions, you can always email Miss Brickey and I'll be glad to help you. I'm also going to include this little sheet in here that you can print out that you can just color. It already has some figures drawn on it. It's kind of one of his signature pieces, and it has the heart in there. And then just remember, we want to add those lines underneath your little characters so that we're giving them movement, like they're jumping and moving, just like